What's up everybody, I'm Eric Hansen. Today on the channel, I'm breaking down all of the gear that I'm about to be taking on my Colorado Trail trek. So I'm gonna be doing 75 miles from Durango to Silverton. This is all of the gear that I'm taking. I've got my sleeping bag, my tent, my new mattress, and a bunch of other stuff. I'm actually really excited to introduce one more item that's off camera, and this is the backpack that I'm gonna be taking it in. This is a backpack that no one has seen. I am the first person to get this one out in the wild. This new backpack is called the Radix, and it is a brand new line of backpacks from Mystery Ranch. It is way lighter. It is so much lighter than anything I've used from Mystery Ranch. It kind of looks like an ultralight bag. I'm excited. I think that this is gonna be a fascinating test to see how Mystery Ranch does, really trying to break into that ultralight market. I will be packing all this up and let's get started. So I'm gonna go through my sleep system first, and I'm gonna start with my sleeping bag. So in here, I have the Nemo Riff, the 15-degree mummy bag. I used this on a recent trip and I loved it so much that I was really not eager to give up that mummy bag warmth and coziness and the comfort, and especially the hood. The lack of a hood is my biggest knock on a quilt system and is really the main reason why I'm gonna stick with my mummy bag for this next trip. I did swap out the stuff sack from the Nemo with this E-Vent from Sea to Summit. The reason why is that this is waterproof. So let's go pop that in. I'm gonna stick with the Nemo for a quick second. I also have another kind of gear announcement. This is brand new. This hasn't hit the market yet, and it is being released in October, but it is a brand new line of Nemo tensors. This is the Nemo tensor that I've been using, and this is the Nemo tensor that I just got in the mail literally right before filming this video. So the newsworthy thing about the Nemo tensor is that this is their all-season version of it. They've upped the R value from 4.2 to 5.4. So they've really upgraded that R value while staying right at the same weight, actually technically shaving off like 4 grams. This is 14.5 ounces. This is 14.1 ounces. So they've dropped the weight, marginally speaking, and upped the R value. And apparently it's a lot quieter. So I'm super excited to get this thing out on the trail and see how it goes. You've been good to me, but I'm leaving them behind. Next on my list is I'm taking the X-Mid Pro from Durston. This tent has been one of my true favorites of the year. I feel like this really knocked it out of the park, and I've been so in love with this tent. For what I'm doing, I'm gonna be doing a solo adventure on the trail. It's just the right time to really be busting this guy out. So Durston X-Mid Pro. Oh, and I almost left it over there, but I am taking a pillow. This is the Eros Ultralight pillow. It's my go-to pillow of choice. This one I have debated because I am trying to go closer to ultralight, but I took this Helinox Chair Zero L on my last trip, and it was the first backpacking trip that I've really backpacked with a full high back chair, and I loved it. It's basically just over a pound, and I am doing what I can to take it because I really want that comfort. But that being said, when all is said and done, and I'm about to hit the trail and I'm just feeling like it's a little too heavy, this will be the first thing that I ditch. Next, I wanna talk about my stove and cook system. I've been using the Vargo Bot pot. It's a 700 milliliter pot. It's a little pricey. It's about $100, which is definitely more expensive than like the Tokes or some of the other versions. But I like that it has this little rubber gasket here. So if I wanted to do some cold soaking, I can. So I can actually seal that up. And I think that the ability to seal that up is pretty cool. For those of you curious, you just cook with the lid upside down. I have also started using this super tiny, lightweight stove from Grail. Grail, the water purification company. This is actually kind of my new favorite stove. It is 1 ounce. It's like 25 grams. It's super simple, and at an ounce, I call that a win. Now, there is one other thing that I wanted to point out because I thought it was just really cool and helpful. I literally have like over 10 of these canisters that are about empty but not empty. And I'm not gonna take like 4 of these. let alone 2 of them that are just half empty. So I'm gonna be using this flip fuel device, super cool little device. I just get to connect one of the ones that I wanna empty into one that I wanna fill. Ooh. Okay, got a full tank now. I'm not actually carrying this with me, but I just thought it was cool new thing for me, so I wanted to point it out in case you haven't heard of it. I take 1 canister of fuel plus my 1 ounce Grail stove. It's titanium. Got a lighter, of course, and some extra cordage that I'm stuffing in here. I got so many questions about what this cup was that I thought, well, I might as well mention it. It is the Yuko collapsible cup. It's like $8, and it's my favorite little camp mug. Now, I will do a whole video on food, but I'm gonna be backpacking in bear country. So I've got all my food in a bear vault. I recently had an experience where I was getting to learn from an actual bear expert what he does and how he trains people like National Park Rangers, even the military, all these people who are gonna be living and operating or doing work in bear country, what to do and what not to do. And he was saying that those sacks and bear sacks and even bear bags are not ideal. And actually, if you can get yourself a bear canister, that is what works. And that's what he uses. So I picked one up and that's what I'm taking. So that's my food for 5 days. Plus I still have a couple of things I need to squeeze in here, but stay tuned for that food video. Let's keep this going just real quick. This is my Zoleo, so that I can just send texts and check weather while I'm on the trail, and I've really liked this over the years, so I'm taking it with me. Little doodads, I'm taking this Vosteed Nightshade knife. It's been a folding knife that I've really liked. It's could be a little lighter, but I really like this shape, and I just think it's a cool knife, so I'm taking that guy. Okay, water filter. I'm taking the Life Straw, the Peak Squeeze. This is the 1 liter version, and there should be plenty of water out there. Taking a med kit, a little first aid kit, and I did want to point out one thing that is honestly something that I think everybody should have in their hiking kit. It's these glacier gels. These are patches that you put over blisters that are either hot spots that are about to be a blister, or they're a full-on blister. These are better than moleskin, and they're better than anything else that I've ever used. So check out these glacier gels. So when I'm really doing those high mileage, gonna be doing like 17 to 20 miles a day, I might get hot spots. So make sure that you take some blister care. That is the most important thing, I think, in a med kit or a first aid kit, or at least the most commonly used thing. And I add those gels into my system. You kind of have to buy them extra. They're typically not included. But taking a med kit, similar vein, let's talk about my shoes. I'm taking these Merrells. These are the MQM. Very lightweight shoe, very breathable. I've taken these on a couple of backpacking trips and just found them to be really comfortable, and they're very, very lightweight. I go for as light a shoe as I can, so these are my shoes I'm wearing. A couple other odds and ends, and then I'm gonna get into all the apparel and clothing that I'm taking, my layers. This is the new Storm R headlamp from Black Diamond. This thing is a beast. It is 500 lumen headlamp, very, very bright, and I've just really liked how simple it is to move through the bright, less bright, and red light. And then there's other modes that you can get into if you want, but those are just like the super simple, most easy versions. And I also like that you can lock it. It is a little bulky, and I wouldn't take this if I was only going on like a 1-nighter or even maybe a 2-nighter. I'd go for maybe a lighter weight headlamp. But this should give me a charge all the way through my trip for a 5-day trip. Oh, and one other reason is if I am actually hiking at night and doing navigating, this is a big beefy headlamp with a big bright beam that allows me to navigate complex terrain with confidence. Whereas a lot of these other headlamps, they just don't cast a big enough beam to be going through complex terrain where you have to make decisions. And that's why I use a headlamp like this. Oh, super important. This is my trowel. This is the Vargo Dig Dig. It is a titanium trowel with some root eaters on the side. So it actually can really dig through roots if you need to. You can actually saw them pretty good. So I stopped using the dinky plastic ones years ago, replaced it with the Vargo Dig Dig titanium trowel, and haven't looked back. This is the best one I've used. I do get a lot of questions about my camera and how I carry it. So I've been using the Hyperlight camera pod. This is the large version, and it is sized for DSLRs and bigger cameras. And I love it. It's awesome. And it's really held up, and it gives that perfect kind of minimal yet robust protection, if that's possible. Waterproof bag, waterproof zipper, hang it off the front of my backpack, and I'm always have my camera ready. Taking some trekking poles. These are also from Black Diamond, the trail backs. I do get people that ask me to take some more mid-grade gear, stuff that isn't very, very high-end expensive. And these are just basic trekking poles. I think these are like $95 or $99. And they're not spectacular, but I have used them and I've liked them, and this is what I'm gonna take, rather than taking like $200 or $300 trekking poles. Some thunder coming on outside. So this is the Packstack Pro, and I really like this. This is how I carry my clothes. This is also a handy kind of camera bag, impromptu. It's not designed as a camera bag, but when I have this full of clothes, I can throw a spare lens, I can throw extra batteries, I can throw memory cards, things, odds and ends for my camera that stay protected and organized in this without having to carry a dedicated camera bag. And it's waterproof, it provides extra protection, and then it's also just where I carry my clothes. So some of this stuff I'm actually gonna be wearing, not packing with me, but I wanted to show you. This is one of my favorite items that I've come across recently. It is my Arcade hiking belt, and it is very, very comfortable, and at 32 bucks, this has added so much comfort to my hiking system, and I really like that it's flexible, it's super simple, it's stretchy, very comfortable. Taking a couple pairs of Grip 6 socks. They're wool socks. They're made in the US, and I just really like them. They've been my sock of choice for the last couple years, really. You see me wearing these pants all the time, and I love them so much with all my heart. These are the Fjallraven Keb Agile trousers. These are the best hiking pants that I've ever used. They're like $200+, so they're pretty pricey, but they're the best. And what I really like about them is the pockets, the zippers, and mainly this ventilation. When you want to get a little sexy and show that leg, this is how you do it. So I love that he's got ventilation down the sides for the hips. They even have like little drawstrings around your ankles, so if you're in terrain where you want to try to keep stuff from coming up. They're light, and these are better than the other versions for warmer hiking, warmer weather hiking. If it's cooler, I like the Keb regular trousers, but these are my hiking pants. I think it's super important for people to know that hiking underwear makes a huge difference. So I've been wearing these antimicrobial stretch quick dry underwear from Ex Officio for like 7 or 8 years or more even, and they're just my absolute go-to favorite underwear. Get yourself a good pair of hiking underwear and you won't regret it. These are the Hestra Ergo Tactility gloves, and they're my favorite gloves. They're super comfortable. I feel cool in them. They fit great, and they are wind stopper. They're not waterproof, but they're wind stopping. They're the perfect warmth for most hiking. They're not gonna be suited for like alpine and cold weather, but they're lightweight and I really like them. I'm gonna be taking this Black Diamond sun hoodie that I've really enjoyed. This thing is a lightweight, great sun shirt, and I need to be doing more skin protection. So it's got a deep hood. Kind of doesn't matter how warm it is. I'm gonna be wearing my hood up, and it's just kind of the new reality that I have, unfortunately, with having fair skin and now having some skin issues show up. Gonna take a buff. Hopefully I don't have bugs, but this is like for extra warmth, and maybe if there's bugs, I'm gonna have a buff. It's super versatile. This is my favorite down jacket. This is the Big Agnes Zetto. It's a very lightweight and very warm jacket. Oh, old mask. Hey, glad I didn't actually accidentally pack that. This Zetto jacket is super warm. It's modestly priced, and Big Agnes really crushed it with this. I don't see anybody really ever talking about this jacket, but it's my favorite down jacket. This is my Black Diamond, the Stormline. This is a super good, very light rain jacket. Lighter than most of the rain jackets I've been wearing lately. I also got their hiking pants, or not hiking pants, they're rain pants. These are about half the weight of the Arc'teryx ones that I've been typically using. It's the monsoons out there in the mountains, and it probably will rain on me. The big reveal, here's the first look that anybody is seeing. I feel deeply honored to be kind of using my old connections from Epic Trails days with Mystery Ranch as a sponsor. They sent this to me before I quit. And whoops. I got special secret access to it. Big cool pockets on the side, and you can even cinch those pockets up with these elastic strings. Nice top lid. It's doing things that most ultralight bags can't do or won't do. Adjustable yoke, torso length, padded hip belts, hip belt pockets on both sides. I'm really excited to take this thing out. Ooh, feeling svelte. Love that. Woo. 24 pounds with 5 days of food. I am stoked about that. This will be the lightest backpack that I've ever carried for a mission like this. For doing like 5 days and some big miles, being at 25 pounds, I am stoked. That's with 1 liter of water. So I probably will be carrying add another 2 pounds. And then I'm also gonna be carrying camera equipment. But for most of you out there who don't carry tripods and camera equipment, this is the realistic weight, and that's what I wanted to show off. So pretty stinking cool. And if you wanna see how this performs, well, make sure you stick around because I'm taking this out on the Colorado Trail, 75 miles next week, and I can't wait to show you how it goes. Well, this has been a long video, so I'm gonna wrap it up and leave it there. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Eric Hansen. I'll see you on the trail.